Welcome to New Thought Northern Colorado Center for Spiritual Living, where we come together to experience and express all of the love that we can possibly hold, to practice this thing that we call radical acceptance and inclusion, and to connect with one another and with spirit. And what an interesting time of connection this is, isn't it? I know that they keep using this phrase social distancing, and what I keep saying is that we are physically distant and socially connected. And so I just want to say right now that I so love and appreciate all of you who are here with us this morning. Really love and appreciate the team that's come together this morning, 6 feet apart, to make this happen. Christina's on our Zoom link and answering our chat. Kathleen is on Facebook Live and helping us with the chat. Mike is on the camera. David's on the soundboard. Deborah J's running around doing whatever we need. And oh my gosh, Jimmy and Julie came to sing this morning. So they are joining Reverend Leah and Reverend Jen and myself. And yes, it's Reverend Leah's first day. How's that? We can all clap on camera. And so what an interesting time to bring in a new minister too, but she's fully embracing what is, and as we all are. So please use the chat to let us know if there's any tech issues. We are running at the speed of sound to bring this to you as clearly as we can. So we want to do some of the things that we normally do, because right now I have to tell you that I find comfort in saying these words: love, acceptance, and connection, like I say every week. And I find comfort in being here in this beautiful space and imagining your faces here. And at the same time, I'm going to be really real about it all. I miss you. We all miss you. So we're going to do it, though. It is Stump the Revs Day. You get to throw your questions at us. Send them in on the chat as quickly as you'd like. And but first, we're going to meditate. We're going to find some stillness. Lonnie. Oh, yeah. And Lonnie, our practitioner team stepped in. Lonnie's holding consciousness on the couch in her home. So thank you, Lonnie, for that. And I just know that this is all a beautiful and perfect expression of the divine in action right here and right now as who we are as New Thought Northern Colorado. And I'm just really grateful for that. So Reverend Leah is going to take us into a little meditation space. We'll have a moment of silence. And then Reverend Jenny's going to pray us in.
Good morning. So let's just all begin by just taking a breath. Deep, sacred, cleansing breath. Letting your eyes close wherever you are. Just settling into this moment. Feeling the stillness. Allowing your breath to take you into the center of your being. That place where God lives, that place where your heart shines so brightly. And as you drop into your heart, imagine that there is a golden sun in the center of your chest. And with each breath, this golden sun radiates more and more. So just focusing on your breath and that golden sun. And this golden sun represents the energy of loving kindness. It represents the energy of peace. It represents the energy of health and wellness, of harmony and grace. And so as you breathe, just really feeling the energy of these beautiful divine qualities within the center of your being. And see this golden sun vibrating more and more with all of these magnificent qualities. All of them are right there in the center of your being as I speak. And so just allowing the stillness to really feed you right now, to feed your soul, allowing these qualities to radiate through your entire being, moving into any parts within your being that need some attention right now. And just allow it to just wash over you. Any tension in your body, any place where you're holding stress, just allow this golden sun and the rays of this golden sun and all the qualities it represents to just bathe and wash over any tension, any stress, any energy within your being that needs some attention and love right now. And just breathe. And now with your intention, see the beautiful planet Earth in front of you like a small ball. And with your intention, you're going to take the rays of this beautiful golden sun within the center of your chest and radiate these rays out, surrounding the earth, surrounding all beings. Touching them with love, with peace, with harmony, with perfect health and wholeness. Knowing that as these rays go out from the center of your chest and touches all beings, washing away all feelings of fear, worry, doubt, overwhelm. We're knowing that these rays of light are going out and touching those who are experiencing sickness, those who are experiencing fear, those who are experiencing separation. And so just radiate these rays of light to all. And know that these rays of light within you are healing. They are transformative. For these rays of light extend from that divine expression of God that is within you. It is always accessible, always available. And so see it surrounding the earth, a beautiful golden radiant light surrounding the entire planet. A healing salve, a healing presence. See it touching and enveloping and surrounding and holding the entire globe. And now imagine, or if you'd physically like to do this, place your hands out, palms facing upwards. Imagine the earth is in the palms of your hands, saying a silent blessing to this planet and to all beings. May all beings experience health and wholeness. May all beings experience love. May all beings know that they are not alone, that they are surrounded by this light. And now placing that earth within the center of your chest, bringing your hands to your heart, and allowing that golden sun that is there to just completely envelop it. Taking a breath. Feeling that energy and that light and that vibrancy of that golden sun, and know that that golden sun will remain with you for the rest of the day. You can always come back and tune into it again. And so feeling your feet on the floor, your back against the chair, whatever chair or place you are sitting. And just knowing that we are taking this energy with us, this healing energy, this love energy. Wherever we are always connected. We are always one. And so it is.
So let's just take that into prayer. I am so grateful to know this morning, as in every morning, that whether we gather together 6 feet apart or 6 miles apart or 60 miles apart or 6,000 miles apart, that there is nothing but God, and that we are together in our unity with that power and that presence that is only love, that is peace, that is freedom, that is safety and security, that is harmony. So I just breathe in, I take that breath, knowing that that breath connects me, connects each one of us as we breathe to that power and that presence in which we live, move, and have our being. Because it is the very center and circumference in our lives. There is no place that God is not, and that means that God is every part of us. That means that God is every part of our experience from moment to moment, from day to day. And so I can look at everything that is happening around me, that is happening around us, and know that God is in the midst of all of it. That God is the presence of love and peace and freedom in the midst of everything that happens around us in our daily lives. And that as we take that breath that connects us, that we remember with every breath that God is right here, right now. And that in that we have everything that we need to walk through every moment of our lives, knowing that we are safe, that we are secure, that we are loved. And that anything unlike this love and this peace and this freedom have no power over any of us. Because God is our source. Spirit is our source. And in that we may rest. And in that we may know, as Julian of Norwich said, that all shall be well, and all shall be well, and all manner of things shall be well. Not only shall they be well, but they are well right now. And so I am so grateful for that knowing, and for knowing that as I have spoken these words through the mind of spirit into the law, that they are made so in this very moment. And so we claim all of this and more for ourselves right now by saying together, and so it is. Amen.
When peace like a river attendeth my way, when sorrows like sea billows roll, whatever my lot, thou hast taught me to say, it is well with my soul. It is well with my soul. It is well, it is well with my soul. It is well with my soul. It is well, it is well with my soul.
Okay. Seriously, that was beautiful. A couple of things before we start I want to acknowledge, because I forgot to mention that, first of all, I want to thank Brooke and Alicia, who put together a YouTube video this week for our kids to be able to do at home. And next week we'll probably, the plan by next week is to go live with a separate Zoom for the kids. On top of that, our teens are meeting again this week. They threw it together last week because technology doesn't faze them in the least. And they met by Zoom, and they're doing that again this week. And in fact, we invited teens from some of the kids that they met at teen camp to join them this week online too. So I hope that's happening and going well. I am counting on the idea that most families have multiple ways to Zoom in at the same time these days. So, but also before we get started, Reverend Leah, it's her first day, and normally we would do a ceremony around that, where probably I would touch her, and we're not going to do that, but we have hand sanitizer, so we are going to do a little thing. So I'm going to ask her to come up here. Oh, yes, you will want this, the microphone. Not too close. So first of all, thank you for joining us and our ecclesiastical team here at New Thought Northern Colorado. I am thrilled and excited, and I know that this is a broadening, even in this time, of what we offer and how we are available to people. And I love your energy and your presence. We all do, and so we're excited about it. So I just want to ask you, and we'll do this again when we have a really big party. We'll do something similar, but since I can't touch your forehead, I would like to ask you to touch your forehead. And I want to ask you if you are ready and willing to bring your highest thought, the thought of your soul, the thought of the good of all of the people in this community and all that we are connected with, to recognize the moments when you fall out of alignment with who you really are, and to move your mind back into that place of knowing that is within you. And if you make that commitment to this community, just say, I will.
I will.
And then put your hand on your heart. And I know this already, but I'm going to ask you to say it anyway. If you will bring your entire heart, all of the love that is within you, to holding, wrapping, caring for the beloved people who are within this community, to serve them from this deep place within you.
It's a privilege to do so. I will.
And then your hands. Here, I'll hold the microphone. Whoa. All right. We'll just the blessed oil of your hands that clears away residue of the past, clears away all that has been in your ministry before other than that which serves you. And that you bring your hands, all of the work of your hands, your beautiful hands, to pray, to serve, to hold the hands of those that we serve here at New Thought.
I will.
So everybody just welcome her, clapping. Yay, clapping in the room.
Thank you so much. It's an honor to be here to serve you all.
And we will have a party. I am thinking there's going to be one giant party on the
Yes,
first day
indeed.
that we get to come back.
Let's be dancing, just so you all know I love to dance.
Oh, that's good, because we have a dance floor. So like we always do, I'm going to ask you to just take some deep breaths, put your hands on your heart, take those big 3 deep cleansing breaths. It's been such a beautiful prayer and meditation morning already. And just say with me, care, appreciation, gratitude, compassion. 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 So we said we would answer your questions today, and nobody's raising their hand that any have come in yet. But Holly sent some ahead of time that are somewhere here. You guys could come up here and join me, so I'm not the only one standing up here. What spiritual practices do you enjoy beyond science of mind? I don't know. Science of mind is spiritual practice. I think meditation is a spiritual practice. We teach some spiritual practices within science of mind, but I don't know if it in itself, is that my technical way of getting out of the question?
Well, I would have said, to answer that question, that every practice is a spiritual practice within science of mind. That we don't just have 6 science of mind practices. I think anything that brings you a sense of connection to spirit is a spiritual practice.
If you bring your attention
If
to
you
it
bring
in that
your-
way,
right.
in a conscious
Yeah.
kind of way. I don't know, I'm a big fan of meditation, frankly, so I'm not much of a journaler. I've kind of let that go. I've tried to force that down my throat a number of times, and that just never works out. So I love to read. And I consider that a spiritual practice as well as being part of my job. But how about you?
I have a singing bowl at home that I often will use, and hitting the bowl and allowing it to just the sound wash over me. And so I don't do it with every day, but it is a practice that I use. It's very calming, very healing. It gets me very centered. Yeah.
Yeah, sound healing is amazing. Actually, recently Joe and Leah have started a sound healing practice. They've been taking all these classes, and Jenny and I got to go over and like they have enough bowls that two people can lay on the floor, and they do this whole thing around you, and I could do that every day. Like seriously, I could do that every day.
Yeah.
Anything come in? We need some questions. Kathleen.
Well, someone was just wondering how Reverend Jim and Sharon are doing.
Oh, they are doing really well.
Yeah, repeat the question.
Repeat the question. Thank you. They asked how Reverend Jim and Reverend Sharon are doing, and thank you for that question, actually. They are doing well. Their daughter had some surgery last week, some necessary surgery, so they have been caring for her primarily and really staying away from people while she's healing so that nothing happens and all of that. Reverend Sharon is going to start a class
A week on Saturday, this coming Saturday, the 28th. She'll be starting a class at 1 p.m. in the afternoon about managing transitions. And boy, don't we all need that right now.
Yeah. And I think Jim's gearing up to do a class on Zoom too, so we'll have more of that online shortly. Let's see. Tell a joke. That's too much. I don't know any good jokes. I know a lot of jokes. I can't remember them. So this is a good time to just find out a little more about Leah then, if no one has any deep philosophical questions. I think that, okay, hands are up in the back.
Here is a question. Since it is the Lenten season, could the Revs talk about how the New Thought philosophy addresses and interprets the crucifixion story?
Repeat
Oh, in 5 minutes, you want me to talk about how New Thought talks about Lent and the crucifixion story. Does anybody want this one besides me? Because I'd be happy to pass.
that. Yeah, I'm sure you would.
Okay. So Lent is such a great season, 40 days. And what's interesting to me about Lent and the history of the 40-day thing, which has been in the Bible in numerous times, is that we have learned now that it actually really does take 40 days to create new pathways in your brain, to create new habits, to change your life in real significant ways. So we look at the 40 days as an opportunity to create a new practice in our life that moves us in the direction of the life that we want to lead. So it's time generally, and it's spring. It's a beautiful time to do that too. It's time to regenerate our spiritual practices, our meditation practice, it might be time to renew our commitment to our well-being, to our wellness. It might be a time to recommit to being generous in the world and finding ways to serve the world in other ways. The crucifixion story, oh my gosh. So you'll have to tune in at Easter, because I think we're still going to be doing this at Easter, and we'll talk a lot more about that, because I could talk about that for like half an hour. The crucifixion is a renewal story. It is first of all a story of renewal that is repeated throughout history. It is also a story that reminds us that life is everlasting, that there is life beyond life, beyond life, beyond life, and that what we are creating, and we lean into that in a way that says that what we are creating now, what we create in our day-to-day life, is what comes back to us. And so how we're thinking, what we're doing, how we're behaving, what we're putting out into the world, the energy which we match the world, is what the world matches us with. And so it is the 40 days is a chance to bring your energy up, bring your vibrational energy up, bring your consciousness up.
And for us, it's not really a time of giving up. I think in traditional philosophy, it's more about giving up something during the Lenten season. And I think on one hand, for us, going back into the crucifixion story, it's dying to something greater than we are. But I think in New Thought too, we really embrace, not that we give up, but what can we step into instead of.
We give up fear.
We give up fear.
We try to practice giving up fear. What a practice right now.
Right.
Ooh, Lent.
Yeah, and I would just add to that the crucifixion story is truly about death and rebirth. And what an amazing time that we are in as human beings, because there is something, whenever we face a crisis, whenever we face something incredibly challenging in our life, what it's showing us is what is dying in order for something to be born. So what I'm holding through this whole time that we are in right now is that this is an extraordinary time, that this is a time of moving from our head to our heart. This is a time of opening and expansion. We are connecting in ways that we didn't even know existed. Some of us never used Zoom before. We're learning Zoom. We're learning ways to connect. And I just really believe that something is being released and let go of and is dying, so that something new and even more extraordinary can come forth within each of us and within the planet as a whole. So that's what I would say to that.
Yeah, what a perfect time, actually, for this. I keep thinking, okay, we all say, what were you doing on 9/11? And when we're great-great-grandparents, people are going to be asking us what we did in 2020, which was supposed to be a calmer year than 2019. That's what we were all calling for. And what's interesting to me about that is we were all calling for a calmer time. Like, I know so many people, 2020 has got to be calmer than 2019. And here we are being asked to stay home and settle down. And there's so many things out there in social media, I know right now, that I could sound like a social media broken record about. We're not being asked to go to war, we're being asked to sit still. And that's really, we're like in resistance to it. And we've been calling for this in so many ways. Mother Nature's been calling for us to settle down and be kinder to her. And I gotta say, Mother Nature, she always takes care of herself, and I've been surprised we haven't all been spun off at this point to, allow her to regenerate. So here we are, we're being spun into our homes to cocoon in our own way. I keep really holding on to, what is my vision for my life? What is my vision for our life as spiritual community and as a world beyond the virus? When we come out of this, who are we going to be, and how are we going to be, and how do we want to be? Because we can choose right now. And I think that's the important thing. We can choose right now how we're going to be when we come out of it. You have a question?
Yes. So we were asked, which you kind of already touched on, in what ways do you see our current circumstances contributing to a kinder, more conscious, caring, and balanced world? And also lots of welcomes from within me.
Awesome. Somebody else want? I'm rambling. I'm taking over. So if you guys want to step in, you can hit me or not. You can't touch me. Oh, you can. She can.
Anyway, so I just think that this time really is in that quiet time where we have time to reflect and where we have time to really see how our actions affect other people, that it will create a kinder and gentler. Sorry, we're having to move because of the microphone feedback. Because of the microphone. Oh, it's that one.
No, it's you.
It's me. Okay, you want to turn me off and I'll use that? Okay, so maybe that's better. Sorry about that. So I think we are getting to a time of being kinder and gentler, where we do get to sit and reflect really on how our actions affect other people. I was thinking about this morning as, I am reading more and more about people in different states sheltering in place, and Reverend Barb and I were talking about all the UPS and FedEx deliveries, and gosh, do we need to spray all the boxes down with bleach before they come in the house so that my mom doesn't get the virus? But think about everything in your life, and is there anything that has come to you, any material thing that has come to you that one other person has not touched?
That's not possible.
It's not possible. And so how can we possibly not understand our oneness and our connection with one another? And I think when we really take that in, we can see that really that golden thread of truth, the golden rule about treating others how we want to be treated, really comes into play, because we have to be kind to other people if we want people to be kind to us. That's my thought.
So I think this is a time of faith. This is really testing our faith right now, all of us, every single one of us. We're standing up here speaking today, but we too, our faith has been tested at times.
Like every 10
this
minutes?
week, a lot, yes. And this came across in my email box, and I just want to read this because it's all about trust, and I think it's relevant. I trust in the goodness of humanity. I trust that this too shall pass. I trust in the power of love. I trust that there is a larger picture that I cannot see. I trust that I am the author of my story. I trust that my light will continue to shine brightly. I trust that the path that I am on. I trust in a higher power. I trust that I am guided. And I trust in my ability to love and to be loved.
Amen to that. Amen to that. Kathleen, you have one?
Would you share some of the affirmations you're using to cope with this coronavirus situation?
Would I share some of the affirmations I'm using to cope with this? Actually, that's funny that you asked that, because we all came kind of loaded with a what's the comforting thing that we're using right now, in case there weren't any questions. And so, and this is kind of my affirmation. It's something that Holmes said, which is, I have a calm and confident expectancy of good. I have a calm and confident expectancy of good. And frankly, that kind of covers it for me. It's simple, it's direct, as you know I like to be. And it moves me out of what I might be experiencing in the moment, because, we are all having our moments of being afraid, and we're having our moments of, call it concern. Isn't that a nice word? We're having our moments. But if this puts me back into what am I holding for past this? What about you? Do you have an affirmation you're using?
Well, I think my affirmation.
You need the microphone. Yeah.
That's right. I forgot I went on. I think my affirmation always in times of trouble is just exactly part of what Reverend Leah just read in her beautiful reading, and that is that this too shall pass, that we will get through it, and that all things do work together for the good, for those who believe in this higher power and who practice and walk their faith. I think the other thing that really helps get me through is not necessarily an affirmation, it's more of an idea, but my former husband was a school counselor, and when he was in training, he was learning how to deal with people that would throw all kinds of emotional stuff at him. And so he invented this idea of having pardon the language, he called it a crap shield. And so I have always loved that idea. I think we've spoken about that before on Sundays, Barb and I. And so I just imagine myself having this shield, my little Xena Princess Warrior shield, I guess. But I also like, instead of calling it a crap shield, even though it repels the crap, what I think of it more of is a faith shield, that it's my faith that really repels all of that. So Ernest did say that, what I loved this quote by Ernest that kind of relates to that for me, and it says, "Faith is a shield against which the fiery darts of evil cannot prevail. It is a breastplate protecting the heart from hurt and the mind from doubt. The full armor of faith ties the intellect back to the heart of love, from which no harm can come." So I love that quote, and I think that that's a really comforting quote right now, especially in terms of putting up my faith shield.
I think this time is, there's so much, when we talk about being spiritual, there's so much we cannot see. And so it's really about having faith in that divine presence. We cannot see God. We cannot see a physical being because God is a presence. God is an energy. And all of us are surrounded not just by that presence, but also by our angels. I believe in angels and our guides and these beautiful beings that cannot be seen, but they are with us. And so for me during this time, just continuing to know that and affirm that I am surrounded always by this divine presence, and I am guided and protected by these angelic beings that are with me always. And so that's what keeps me going.
I think we have time for one more.
I have one. So what do we say or do to support those outside CSL beset by fear and anxiety and lack without seeming to minimize what they're experiencing?
Oh, how do we acknowledge other people's feelings, particularly folks who don't have the same faith tradition, perhaps, that we do, without minimizing their feelings? And I would say that applies even within CSL, that this is not a time to be pointing fingers at people and saying, well, what in your consciousness allows you to be afraid? You know, this is the super unknown of the unknown. And we've all watched a lot of movies that have made this seem like it's a really bad thing to have a pandemic. Like the movies are horrifying. And I think that somehow some of those things get playing in our head, you know, in the back of our head. And what we are right now is just called to be kinder. And so I would say the same thing, regardless of your faith tradition and what you believe right now or what other people believe, it's just a time to be kind, to be able to say, you know what, I hear that you're afraid and I'm standing in your fear with you in a way that I will hold your hand and I will help you walk across this river. Not that you're going to go into their fear with them, or maybe you are, but really holding hands and walking across the river together is always the way to do it. And that's what we're called to do. We're called to be compassionate. We say compassion every single week. And compassion is not, oh, I know better than you. Compassion is, let me take your hand and help you through this and maybe guide you to a place of a little more peace and calm. And here's the thing, folks, you all know how to pray. Every one of you can pray with your friends. Every single one of you. You've listened to me pray for 10, 12 years. You've taken classes. You don't have to do it perfect. You don't have to make it a perfect spiritual mind treatment. You can connect with people at the level of their heart and pray with them. And maybe that's what's called for.
Every thought is a prayer. So keeping that in mind, every thought. So in the meditation I was doing, it's just connecting with that, the center of your being, that love that is there, and just send that out. Send that out. Have that be part of your daily practice, to send it out to the planet and to all beings and surrounding them in that love. And just know that that is available to all and healing to all. And just hold that.
Yeah, and I I brought some notes about Bruce Lipton, who's many of you have read his stuff on healing and body work, and he works in genetics and epigenetics, and he's really speaking about this and talking to people about remaining focused on a healthy and positive and constructive life, because it is when we get he has seen scientifically the connection between allowing ourselves to be in fear and allowing ourselves to be depressed and isolated and separate, and our immunity system dropping. So this is the time to connect and find ways to connect, make those phone calls, be on our Zoom calls, do all that stuff, to be with people in whatever way that you can, and to keep your mind and your heart in the place of knowing that this too shall pass, you know, and that this is going to be one of those life-changing, earth-changing, planet, how we are on the planet changing times in our history. You know, it can't be anything else.
I have a passage I want to read. Do you want to say anything before I do that? Yeah. So this is a beautiful passage by John Randolph Price. And it's called the World Peace Meditation. So I just invite you as I read these words to just breathe them in, just take them into your being. I am a living soul, and the Spirit of God dwells in me as me. What is true of me is true of everyone, for God is all and all is God. I see only the Spirit of God in every soul, and to every person on earth I say, I love you, for you are me. You are my holy self. I now open my heart and let the pure essence of unconditional love pour out. I see it as a golden light radiating from the center of my being, and I feel the divine vibration in and through me, above and below me. I am one with the light. I am filled with the light. I am illumined by the light. I am the light of the world. With purpose of mind, I send forth the light. I let the radiance go before me to join the other lights. I know this is happening all over the world at this moment. I see the merging lights. There is now one light. We are the light of the world. The one light of love, peace, understanding, and healing is moving. It flows across the face of the earth, touching and illuminating every soul in the shadow of illusion. And where there was darkness, there is now the light of reality. And the radiance grows, permeating, saturating every form of life. There is only the vibration of one perfect life now. All the kingdoms of the earth respond, and the planet is alive with light and love. There is total oneness. And in this oneness, we speak the word. Let the sense of separation be dissolved. Let mankind be returned to God kind. Let peace come forth in every mind. Let love flow forth from every heart. Let forgiveness reign in every soul. Let understanding be the common bond. Let wellness and perfect health be the experience of every being. And now, from the light of the world, the one presence and power of the universe responds. The activity of God is healing and harmonizing planet Earth. Omnipotence is made manifest. I am seeing the salvation of the planet before my very eyes, as all false beliefs and error patterns are dissolved. The sense of separation is no more. The healing has taken place, and the world is restored to sanity. This is the beginning of peace on earth and goodwill toward all, as love flows forth from every soul, and all hearts and minds are one in perfect health and understanding. It is done, and so it is.
So it is. That seemed like a perfect closing prayer. I just won't even do one. All right, so moving through. Chuck, you want to come up in this direction? So Chuck Blozer's here. He's our board treasurer. He wanted to share a few words with you after that prayer, and then I actually have something I want to share as well.
Thank you. Good morning. As most of you know, I'm Chuck. I'm on the board here. And I wanted to share just a moment or two with you. First, I want to express my extreme gratitude for the NTNC community. It's my support. I love this place, and I love that you people are on this call and supporting it as well. I wanted to share a personal experience. I'm a tither. I tithe to this facility. And recently I've had some real challenges. My wife is in an assisted nursing care facility, and she is not doing well. The insurance is about to run out, and I'm going to be spending gobs of cash to take care of her. I redid my budget pretty much on a fixed income and was trying to figure out how I'm going to pay for this. And I started cutting all the expenses that I could. As I looked at my budget, I came to the line item NTNC tithe. And for about 6 nanoseconds, I considered cutting that. And like I said, it was 6 nanoseconds. And then I said, oh my God, that'd be like kinking the fire hose of my life. That would cut off the flow, and that just wouldn't work for me. Ever since I began tithing, the flow has been wonderful. I have no idea how I'm going to pay for this. But I trust in God and I trust in the universe. And I know it'll happen. So I'd just like to ask each of you, when you listen to all this, to go to the bottom of that page that you're watching right now and hit that donate button. Support our center. We still have rent to pay. We still got light and heat to pay for. And we have a staff that we need to help pay them so they could buy their food and do as well as some of us are doing. So with that, I thank you. Be safe. And I love you all.
Thank you.
There you go.
I want to clap. My hands are full. You want some
Sure.
hand sanitizer?
Oh, sure.
Yeah, because we've all been touching the microphone now. I want to share one other thing, because Jimmy sent it to his music team and copied Jenny and I just thought this kind of said everything. He says, we've got something really special. Shit. Oops, swearing on Facebook. We've got something really special going on in this community. I think we can use this time to reinforce those relationships. Supporting one another is unlikely to ever again be as important for us as it is now. I want you to know that I'm here for you. If y'all need a grocery run or a roll of toilet paper or a conversation, hit me up anytime. Lastly, thank you for who you are. This is going to be hard, and it's going to be weird, and it's going to be full of uncertainty, but I believe in the resourcefulness and the tenacity of human beings more fervently than I believe in anything else. And I know we're going to come out strong on the other side of this. And that, my friends, is why we come together, and why I'm so grateful for all of you, and especially for you right this moment. So I'm hoping you're clicking that button, and you want to do the affirmation?
Unless you'd like to.
No? Go.
So let's just take all of that in together and reveling in all of the love and all of the goodness, being in this together and knowing that we are not alone. Let's just recite our offertory prayer together wherever we are.
In our
In
unity of purpose, we are guided by divine wisdom and prospered by divine love.
Amen.
When I find myself in times of trouble, Mother Mary comes to me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. And in my hour of darkness, she is standing right in front of me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. Let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be. Whisper words of wisdom, let it be. And when the broken-hearted people finally agree, there will be an answer, let it be. Let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be. Whisper words of wisdom, let it be. Let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be. There will be an answer, let it be. let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be. Whisper words of wisdom, let it be. Let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be. There will be an answer, let it be. And when the night gets cloudy, there is still a light that shines on me. Shine on till tomorrow, let it be. I wake up to the sound of music. Mother Mary comes to me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. Let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be. Whisper words of wisdom, let it be. Let it be, let it be.